Hey guys, welcome to SF DocFest. Excited to have you here. As you see, kind of post-pandemic, we've kind of reset what a film festival means, and so that means we get a chance to screen in theaters, but we also know that not everybody is able to join us, so you're able to watch films like this at home. SF DocFest has been going on for 2+ decades, and it's really neat to kind of run across cool, charming films like this. You've just had a chance to watch Cisco Kid, and we're lucky enough to have Emily Allen. Welcome, Emily.
Hi, thank you.
This was just a neat film to kind of run across, and I think just kind of a true celebration of kind of independent film storytelling. Can you give us a little bit of background of like the kind of genesis of the project and how you knew there was a larger story you wanted to tell here?
Sure. Well, I live in New York, but I'm originally from Utah, and I was talking to a friend about how much I miss the landscape and would really like to do a project that somehow includes the landscape of southern Utah, even though I'm from Salt Lake. And she said, well, my sister just moved into a ghost town in Utah. So I was intrigued, and I asked if I could contact Renee's sister, Eileen. So anyway, I called Eileen, and we ended up having a 2-hour conversation, and it went well, and they were open to it. And that's sort of how it started.
Very cool. And there's kind of such a unique kind of visual aesthetic and just kind of storytelling methodology used. So like how much of that was kind of like affected by kind of Eileen and their life, and how much of it was as a filmmaker, and was how did you kind of determine like the aesthetic of the film, and also did you see this as kind of a collaboration with them, or where was that kind of separation between like kind of filmmaker and subject?
Yeah. Well, the style is definitely informed by the landscape. I think just a desert landscape so vast and wide, and there's a stillness there. And so I wanted to reflect that in the cinematography. So that's why a lot of the shots are static and wide. And so that was something I sort of decided before I even got there, knowing that, I'm not going to be dogmatic about it, but that's something I wanted to do. And then, I didn't really know Eileen until I went out to film. So, but it was just me there, and I was staying with them. And so it was a very intimate setup kind of. And even though we were getting to know each other, it just felt very intimate, and it felt very personal right away. And I think that comes across in the filmmaking. And I think, and Eileen's someone that very much is talkative. And at first I imagined Eileen would be very quiet and the film would be very quiet, but Eileen directly speaks to me, and I didn't want to cut them off from that because I just thought then it would feel unnatural. So I kind of become a part of the film, at least not in front of the camera, but you hear me and you sense, my presence through the camera. And it's something I wasn't anticipating, but I didn't want to interrupt. And I think in the end, it kind of lends a nice intimate quality for the viewer, I think. So.
And and after this time spending it, how did the kind of project evolve from what you originally intended it, I guess, to be? And also, did you see your home state in a different way, I guess, through this experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think at first I thought it might even be a short film. I was curious as I was going out, like, okay, what's the story here? And I think a lot of it became, I really wanted to show time pass. I really wanted to show not just how Eileen was sort of physically shaping the landscape and the structures there, but also how the landscape was shaping Eileen, and sort of this little subtle change in this person through living this lifestyle. And I think, I don't know if my view of Utah changed, but it was kind of nice to spend more time in Southern Utah and to spend time in the film. You see people kind of pass through, and this was during the time of like Trump, like when I first started filming, it's 2016, and everyone likes to talk about all the divisions and of people, but Eileen has a lot of people in their life where they're all very on different parts of the political spectrum and lifestyle differences, and they just are kind of not really addressing that and still just connecting and being, in some way or another, whether it's, a friend who Eileen happened to meet who lives kind of off the grid in another town, like an hour away, who is just coming to help Eileen out with like everyday kind of things that come up, like building type things. Or someone passing through as a retired police officer and it has a gun, they want to talk about that. It was very interesting. I just feel like it was kind of nice to see people connecting in a real authentic way without those things getting in the way. So I think maybe it gave me a different lens on just sort of America in a way, or at least during that time. And so that was nice. It was just a refreshing experience to see those interactions.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice collision of things. I think it's just it's a neat film to watch just based on the kind of experience that it seems in making it,
Yeah.
but also just kind of some of the questions it raises. What what's kind of the next, as have they seen the film yet, and what were their kind of thoughts about it, and what are your kind of next steps for getting out there in the world?
Yeah, Eileen has seen it. I showed it to them kind of in the fine cut stage because I wanted them to just see how they felt about it and get their opinion on it. And it was great. They were actually texting me as they were watching it, like having kind of like a lot of laughter around some of these moments that they forgot about. And one thing that was really nice is Eileen said, as I've been here and working on all these things, all I can see is all I have is like a list of things I still haven't done and all this work to do. And this film gave me a little broader perspective to see how much I have done, how much I've achieved. So that was really cool. And Eileen, since this film has ended, a lot of things have been changing, and they're still there, but there's a lot of, there's just things that have come up that have made life hard. And I think sometimes they feel conflicted about Cisco, if they should be there still or not. But in that moment, I think it was great to hear that. And they did like the film, and we invited them to a festival, but it didn't work out. Hopefully they can come to another one in the future, but yeah, so that's sort of that relationship. And then in terms of where it'll go, we're not sure. I mean, we applied for a year before we got into our first festival, which was in Hilava last fall, and then Slam Dance, and now we have this one. And so we're trying to just get into a few more, some smaller regional festivals, and then put it online in the fall. We're not sure where yet. We've had a couple offers, so we're just trying to figure it out. So
I always try to remember our audiences that like we're kind of the grassroots street team, for independent films who kind of share their films at our festival. So is there a way that folks can kind of follow the film on social media, or kind of let people ask for the film to come to their town?
Yeah. Well, I don't have Facebook, but we have an Instagram page for the film. It's at Cisco_Kid_film.
Okay.
There's also the website, which links to that, which is CiscoKidFilm.com. And we're always posting updates on both of those. So
Very cool. Well, thanks again for sharing the film with us here in San Francisco, Emily, and obviously all the best with things.
all right, thank you so much.
Take care.